Hello, Casey for interwebkaiju here. I asked and you answered. This week's review is The Asylum's Ape vs. Monster. A container falls from space that holds, as Eric Roberts describes it, a chimpanzee named Abraham. A substance is making him grow, and a wild reptile also finds some of the substance that leaked onto the sand and, well, gets into it and grows, of course. There's some interesting cinematography, so kudos to whoever was in charge of that. Sound mixing and music composition are also competent. Props and costumes are actually pretty good. Maybe not accurate, but at least don't look like they were put together by a high school drama class like, well, some other lower budget productions I've seen in the past couple years. The way that Abraham falls here makes me laugh. Abraham climbing the Washington Monument was kinda cool. The spaceship model is actually good. And they really do give him a teddy bear, much like that grass mock-up Gia made in Godzilla vs. Kong. The novelty of seeing Eric Roberts showing up in this great of movie has highly diminished throughout the past decade, but I guess he deserves to get paid, and honestly, he's fairly decent here.
You can't be serious.
Character interactions range from unrealistic but passable to unneeded background drops that don't help said characters or any plot points. Like, way too much. It's not interesting, innovative, or exciting. Run-of-the-mill overused concepts spoon-fed to the audience from run-of-the-mill average actors, which the main few are not too bad. Their characters are just bland. A few people in the movie are just caricatures. One of these will walk into a fairly grounded scene and then act like a cartoon character, which makes it all seem even worse. There's a lot of deadpan reactions to things that should have some sort of emotion to them, such as witnessing a giant monster destroying the bridge you were supposed to go over.
That bridge was the only way forward!
Or a squad member getting attacked by a giant chimp.
The hell? Open fire!
Just the acting across the board, aside from a few characters, are just either flat or over the top. Basically, whenever someone new pops up, you should expect them to deliver their lines unnaturally. The father-daughter conflict is groan-worthy. The actor is kind of bad, and the scenes he's in are boring. The movie would have been better off without him, but just another example of the movie wanting to give boring characters even more uninteresting and unneeded backstories. Abraham's hair looks bad. Every very large hair strand is given some shine or grayness that makes the unrealistic model look even more so. Even by the end, I never really got used to how visually off he is. The monster looks much better, but good is certainly a stretch. Movements at least are fairly fluid. Him eating a soldier is a highlight for me. Though his hands are a bit too large. It works for some monsters like Gorgo and Rancors, but not Monster? Does he even have a name? Characters usually just call him the Gila monster, which might be a good nod to the classic film, if not for the fact that he looks completely different. Cars in DC are just driving slowly in each direction, completely ignoring the giant monsters fighting. The fight is short at the end of the movie and not too great, but at least there is one, and unlike Godzilla vs. Kong, one of the title monsters dies. On screen. So that's something. Kill isn't anything notable like the Kiss of Death, but it is the last clip after the review if you want to see it without watching Ape vs. Monster. I haven't seen a lot of Asylum films. Honestly, there's probably some decent original horror movies somewhere in their catalog, but this might be my favorite I've seen from them aside from Two-Headed Shark Attack and the first couple Sharknado movies. The best out of the mockbusters I've seen from them by far. Still wouldn't recommend to anyone going in blind, but if you know what you're getting into and you like lower budget films, you might enjoy it. There's certainly worse ways to spend your time. Thanks for watching.
Listen, Linda.
Goose.
My God, it's really happening.